Then I'm like, okay.
Well, we had cell phones, and then the tombstone said 2012.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
We're recording.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, we're back. We just got out Beautiful Creatures, and I have a feeling we're probably going to have some disagreements on this one, mostly for me. So we were joined by Alysa, Raj in the back. Chris wanted to come to this one, but we had scheduling conflicts, so I had to tell him to miss out. But, all right, what'd you guys think?
It started out
Yeah, I would agree.
but it definitely, for me personally, it got a lot better as the movie went on.
Yeah, he redeemed himself. I actually, was sympathetic towards the characters as they became more developed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I thought this movie was incredibly boring.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. I didn't like any of the characters.
You like tore me up inside at the end. I was like,
Okay, here's what this movie does. The boy does absolutely nothing.
we're talking about
The main character
Okay.
does nothing through the entire movie. He is essentially completely useless.
How so?
I think he does a lot.
He does-
I don't want to ruin the movie, but
We can talk spoilers. It's not a big deal.
Okay. He was if you watch the very end, he's the main reason where she's good over,
Exactly.
Except he's not even the one that dies at the end. Like,
right?
okay.
Why would you? When I thought he died, I was like, oh.
I was devastated.
It's like she
Okay.
lost her dad and her boyfriend. It's like you lose both, and then it's like
her mom.
Well,
yeah,
like,
and she
here's-
has her mom's on the dark side, so it's like she has nobody, and then it turns out
problem
she
is-
gets one at the end.
These characters aren't interesting. They're not. They are incredibly boring characters.
Well, that's the point, because it's a boring town, right?
It is
No,
boring
that doesn't
now.
make excuse for boring characters. If you don't, they can't. Characters aren't interesting. The movie's not interesting. It's really that simple, and it's at its core value.
I thought her
'Cause
mom was a very interesting character.
Her mother was hammy as shit. So there's part where she okay, let's give just a little rundown through the story very briefly because we gotta make this one quick because she's got work and I gotta prepare for another one at 7:00. So basically the story is it's kind of ripping off Twilight a little bit, which is like it's.
A little bit, but not really.
Wait, we'll get into that. Basically, it starts this boy with an incredibly southern accent. When people talk the way no other human being would ever possibly talk. Hold on the windows.
He's an athlete who's bored, who believes,
Okay,
this small
but
town is...
He wants to get out and see the real world. He wants to go traveling, but he's stuck in this town.
but he finds his witch, and they fall
No,
in.
Caster?
Caster,
not witch.
Whatever, I don't care. So they get this caster, and of course they fall in love, and it turns out there's this big plot line where she's supposed to turn evil on her 16th birthday and lead all the evil witches to conquer the world or something equally.
Casters.
Whatever.
She could still be light. She doesn't have to be dark,
Right.
Yeah, because that symbolism hasn't been used in every fucking movie since 1960.
Catches there is some sort of curse that is laid upon his family and her family.
Like and your 16th birthday either turn light or dark depending on your view on your overall personality,
Moral,
I guess. And that's pretty much the essence. And then it just gets ridiculously convoluted and all over the place. And Jeremy Irons is in here, and he's the only part I kind of enjoyed. Even though he's not nearly as hammy as he was in Dungeons and Dragons, it would have been so much better.
I think half an hour in was where I actually got interested.
Right, the first 30 minutes
I was like, what is this? There was
their
no
lingo
backstory.
was very interesting. I
was distracted by their southern talk, and it was
Well, it's
I didn't know anything for the first 30 minutes. Their character development was very weak in the beginning, and then
the character development is weak overall. The only
it got stronger.
it does not. It does not. Here's what I kind of noticed watching the movie. It's they don't actually try to develop. They just distract you with bigger and bigger special effects. That's all. They introduce more story elements and other things, but distract the fact that there's really not much to these people.
I felt like the main, let's say, 4 or so, maybe even 5 characters, there was meaning to them because
What meaning?
especially
describe to me what you're talking about.
Okay, I don't know about you, but I actually cared for Lena at the end. I was deeply saddened that the fact that I thought she killed her boyfriend, or her boyfriend got killed, and her father got killed. It's I felt sad.
I think as a viewer you feel betrayed.
Yes, I was like, what kind of an ending is this? I was so mad that that was the
Raj
ending.
wants his perfect ending, damn it.
And then when her eye went from the orange evil eyes to turned back to brown, and I was like, yes.
There are some unanswered questions
There
though.
are.
Okay, so the best friend realized that he shot the main character, but then they're going on a road trip.
But
So
I think no, she did the forgetting thing. Remember how
No,
Lena...
she did that way before.
Yeah, she did that to what's his name? Main character. What's his name?
Yeah, she did that like way before he got shot.
So you don't even remember his name. All right, that tells you everything you know about how interesting the character is.
But it's
There is nothing to him. There's no point to him. Yeah, he's just a guy you fall in love with, and that's about it. He's not charming. He's not interesting. He's duller than dishwater. They tried to Tarantino it by using like clever lingo to try to like distract him.
Chicken shit.
Yeah. No
but
human being ever talks like Link. I think his name was.
But obviously, the
I remember his name. I don't remember the actual character's name.
No, the casters, they had to like clean up the mess that they made because of all this, and they made everyone forget what happened.
Then explain to me this: how come if they supposedly nobody knows about these people, how is everyone suspicious of them?
Oh, because I mean the setting of the town.
Right.
Well, let's go on
the
this.
town where nothing happens.
Yeah, so
and all of a
just
sudden,
speculate.
And everyone is a religious zealot in this.
It's the South. I don't know.
Did you just really
People are more conservative in the South, naturally. That's the stereotype we have here in the Bay Area for people watching in the South. That's what we think. Or at least
That's what he thinks. I don't think that. I'm actually accepting of people.
I accept that they're conservative. I'm just saying that's where a lot of the conservatives are from.
That makes no fucking sense. Okay.
I think what Raj is trying to say is like the main character sets the stage by saying, okay, we have 12 churches, we have one library. These people are very close-minded and they have nothing
I could have
better
accepted
to do.
that if it took place in the 40s or the 60s.
But
This is in 2012. People don't act or talk like this anymore.
But even you said, is this the 40s? I heard you say that.
I did, and that's because like if it was in the 40s, I would have bought that people were this ridiculously religiously conservative.
But there are small towns
not
in
like
America.
this, not like this bad.
Have you been to these towns?
Have you?
I know people from this. I haven't been there myself. I know people from,
So you mean people who all revolve around a church, who want to ban people based on no actual evidence whatsoever, who are this ridiculously religious, who judge people on on nothing, on fucking nothing. They judge these people.
Okay, back to the movie.
Hollywoodizing it, but yes, I know people who are centered around the church and that kind of thing.
Yeah, but not a whole community, not like that. It's just a sort of cult mindset these people have. In fact, every person in the stupid
it's Hollywood. They have to.
No, let me finish. All right, Okay. Every person in like the classroom, for example, like whenever the girl's like, "Oh, Mama told me that she was that she burned the whole town down." Let me finish.
Okay,
Let me finish.
okay.
All I could think of was the weird ass girl in Frankenweenie with the giant ass eyes that pretty much gave exposition.
I liked her.
I liked her too, but the difference is these people are supposed to be taken seriously.
Okay, that is one thing where I think I mentioned to you a couple of times where I think this movie's confusing time periods, because there was this really, really super old car, like, from like the 60s or 50s, and all of a sudden you see BMW Z4 pull up. It's like, what?
This girl's spitting out strawberries, like dipped in chocolate.
It's like, I think they're that was one issue I had, was they were confused about what time period.
So maybe what Michael is saying, there has to be some consistency.
Well, maybe a little consistency. It just has to be interesting. For me, it's like from beginning to end, I just didn't care.
Okay, here's my question to you. If they modernized the classroom, hometown setting a little bit into a little bit more in the future.
Problem is, like, it's got that. Here's what movie at its core is supposed to do, and this one didn't do for me. It's just got to create a world that I can believe in. I didn't believe a fucking second of any of this.
What about the whole the manatee?
The manatee?
Yeah.
Elaborate.
Sorry, what do you call those?
What?
Just like the listing of movies. Remember, the Interception and stuff like that?
I love that. That was hilarious.
Okay, I like that. I will admit. I thought that was a nice little funny joke. But even then, it's like, there is so much plot that goes into this. It just distracts from the fact that these characters. I think it just seems like I'm just getting stuff thrown at me so often that it just is trying to distract me from the fact there's not really much here.
I'm gonna agree that there were times where the characters showed up in the movie and I was like, who the hell are these people? Where did they come from? Only 10 minutes later to I figure out, okay, so this is where they're supposed to be. Okay, it could have been a little more clear in the characters of how they were introduced, their background, what they mean to the story, but that doesn't mean they're meaningless, and I still agree that they belong there, but the execution could have been better.
Right, like the cousin who kissed, straight up.
She just kissed him. I'm like,
yeah, I was like, who is this person?
And later on, 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh, she put a curse on this fool.
10 minutes ago? That was 30 minutes afterwards.
No,
it was 10 minutes.
Yeah, I would argue.
Which cousin which friend are we talking? Oh, I'm thinking of the part of the best friend, where like the cousin, like the hot cousin randomly kisses the best friend, and then they disappear for literally like 40 minutes later.
She kisses the main character and puts a spell on him, and then brings him
to the hotel.
And again, that's what I'm talking about. Like, this character really doesn't do much. He just gets, as the character points out, I get hypnotized, paralyzed, captured. all this
basically
stuff.
he gets screwed.
He doesn't do anything of any real significance. He's the equivalent of Bella from Twilight.
Yeah,
right?
well, exactly. I'm just gonna say that. Maybe because of the context of being, surrounded by these casters, and he's immortal.
Well, problem is, like, he doesn't contribute anything.
He does, though, but through love.
Like, how does he?
Through love.
He's the one that keeps her from going dark because he's something that she cares about. So, you know what I mean? She cares about him deeply, and that alters what.
Yeah, and let's talk about their so-called romance and how rushed that thing was. I don't.
Okay, well, except when they went to the movies and then they held that pendant, and then all of a sudden they were super close after that.
No, it's not even then. It's like from the part where he follows her back to her house, has this whole fucking thing planned, pretty much stalks her for good portion, and this is supposed to be charming.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure guys do that. To be fair.
Do you do that?
No, I'm saying.
I just give you shit.
Yeah, no. There are guys who obsess, and
you know what happens? They don't get the girl.
Unless she's a caster. Unless she's a caster.
Yes, unless she's a caster.
That's what I learned.
Okay. Only stalk girls who are witches.
That's just. Clearly we're good.
Okay, the scene where he goes to her house, it was kind of cute, I mean,
which part?
It was the awkward.
There was like 3 times where he went to her house in one day.
Well, it's like the
first time where he like walked in and then he runs out and then he finds her in the field, and then she's like, "Leave, you're a jerk." He's like, "No, I'm not leaving," and she just
okay. Well, that
she knows she doesn't.
Weird.
It was a little
kind of weird. That's creepy.
She was like jerk, but she was smiling.
It's like restraining order. Call the police. Do something.
It's
anything.
Like, you're a jerk, but I like you. It's like one of those moments.
It's like they try to give him depth, and even then they don't really bring it up much afterwards. So they say it's like he reads all these kind of books, has these posters of Clockwork Orange on a map for some reason, and that's never really brought up again. It's just like, here's a character trait. Now we're gonna completely ignore this in favor of whatever random storyline we can throw at you with our tons and tons of exposition we have throughout this thing.
I think they bring up the books quite a bit, like
they do.
The same books frequently.
Yeah. A little bit, sometimes, mostly about poetry, more or less.
Well, she was a poet, obviously.
Which apparently she wasn't smart. Why not just get a book? Why do you have to have like big old mirror image on your?
Because you're showing.
No, at that point he didn't know she was a caster, so this was her saying, "I have powers. Look what I can do.
I can project my."
And he took that really fucking well, by the way.
He was super impressed.
He was like, "Holy crap!" Like, yeah.
No, but he's like,
girl's like, "I have powers. Look, I can do this." I'd be like, "Ah, it's so cool."
No, you'd be like, "Ah!"
Holy shit, women.
That's the appropriate reaction. Not like, "Oh wow, okay, let's make out."
I probably wouldn't go holy shit woman and run away. I probably wouldn't do that.
Really?
Yeah, really. Probably wouldn't.
You are so full of it. You are completely full of shit. Not even once going, "Oh my god, what the hell?"
Okay, wait. To defend Raj though, like before he even went into her room at that scene, I believe he tried going back, and there was that spell where he was running around, and there was like mirror images of the gate.
This was before.
No, this was before that.
Was it way before?
It was way before.
Yeah. So it's like at this point. Even then, as it's like, you know what, some women just let her go. Just let her go.
He already knows something's up because she broke all the windows in the school.
Yeah.
I mean, he obviously he has some, like, everyone's telling him that she's this person. So obviously he has an idea.
Again, that leaves me a question. How does everyone else know, but he doesn't know?
No,
he has an idea.
If these casters are supposed to be so secret, how come pretty much everyone in no town seems to know about them?
No, I think you're missing the point here.
Well, what is the point?
You moved on to a point. You were saying, why didn't he freak out and run away?
Because he doesn't care.
Because he doesn't care. He accepts her for who she is, for all her faults.
I'm sorry. No. Bullshit. It does not work that way. That at least comes into consideration.
Okay. Tell me this: when you like somebody, you don't like them just for their.
I'm
good
pretty
parts.
sure witchcraft and wizardry kind of comes into play as in a
Okay, if you found out that you could do spells and do that stuff, don't tell me that you would not be impressed.
And you're telling me that when you like some girls, they're not something to find out about them. They're kind of buzzkills.
Wait, what?
It's like, let's say, for example, you like one, but you find out she's an alcoholic. You wouldn't hang out with her later, would you? You'd probably say, you know what, maybe
being
that
an
email you
alcoholic and being born into a
My
castle
point is,
completely
if something that
Yes,
small,
it's completely different.
my point is, if something that small can turn you away from somebody, I'm pretty sure being a Harry Potter character.
If Emma Watson walked up to me and says, I have a wand, I can do spells, I'd be like, yes! Let's go on a date, Emma Watson!
You know what's a funny scene when
Okay.
he first confronts the uncle and he just starts naming off what he's gonna do till he turns like
Okay, I kinda like
63.
that a little
That
bit.
was really
That
fun.
was freaky.
Like, and
I
well
was like,
executed.
yeah. You could see the pain in her face. She was
Oh,
like,
his face, he was like, I'm
well,
confused.
yeah, but she was like my dad's, like, literally just, like, dissecting my boyfriend right in front of me. Like, which I guess normal dads do as well. But
But he's an uncle though.
is he? Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
And by the way, maybe I missed
He was
this.
more of a father figure though.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed this. I don't know. There was so much exposition that was thrown me in the first 20 minutes. But what happened to the guy's dad?
I told you he locks himself in his room. He's so upset about his mom dying.
But he never appears.
yeah, he's
anywhere.
unimportant.
He's unimportant. He doesn't
We don't care
matter
about
to the
He's the
story.
dad.
So,
He's consistently brought up various times in the course of the week. You'd think you would at least see him once.
you know, they probably just didn't have enough money or something. And then
Yeah,
Yeah, they can afford all the cheesy effects, and they can afford the main villain to literally go, "You must be born," like just like that. And that wasn't jumping the shark for anyone else. No, that wasn't stupid.
Okay, if they
with guy with Edward Cullen hair coming in 2/3 of the way through the movie.
Okay,
with a stupid spinning table.
he really liked his food.
Look, okay, if they introduced a dad to the story, that would just add too much complexity. Like, okay,
That would have
he's not
made the
needed.
character more.
He's not needed. He's not, what is the dad?
Really, you
the
don't
dad-
know
The boy isn't needed. So it's like
The boy is needed. The boy,
You
he's
could
the
have-
turning point of the whole movie is based on him and her love for him.
he
their
is
love.
completely useless. He doesn't do a damn thing.
He actually has a backstory. He
no,
matters.
he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Did
He
you miss
would've
the
been-
whole part where it's like it's fate, where they're supposed to meet each other from like how many years ago?
Hundreds and hundreds of movies that use its exact same plot point. If it doesn't make any variation on the fact, it's not interesting.
But it still works.
No, it doesn't.
I think
It does. It works.
Do you find a pendant on the ground and it like activates some kind of like magical bounded spell that explains, you know, your history lineage?
Okay, where are you going with this?
I have no idea. But basically,
I was like,
fit into the
no,
story.
but
I think to appreciate this movie, you just have to go with it. You can't just, you know, pull a Michael
pull a Michael.
Yeah.
Excuse
and pick
me.
apart this movie. You either like it or you don't.
This is the first movie where we've disagreed. It's funny. I thought this would come sooner. But, no, but you know, he was pivotal to the plot. If you took him out, the whole movie unravels itself.
Not right. So you could have easily done that whole same thing with the uncle.
Huh?
Think about it. If you just focus on the understanding between the daughter and the girl and the uncle, you
That
could
There
have.
would be no
You-
human sacrifice. I mean, there would
Yeah,
be
there
no
would have, because he does
sacrifice.
die at the end.
Yes, he does die at the end, but
That
he
would've made
dies
it more significance.
He dies for
He
the boy.
dies to save
Okay.
her boyfriend because he cares about his niece.
Okay, here's how I would have done this.
Okay, if you took him out, the movie's half an hour. Or like an hour. You
Yeah.
simplify the movie down to like an hour.
No, but here's the thing. It's like they could have had an interesting relationship between the uncle and the girl. They could have done that, and it would have made his death at the end mean something more. At the point as it is, you don't really care.
She loses somebody. Well, okay, well, yeah. She basically sacrifices her whole future because, you know what I mean? Like,
But
she
here's the thing.
sacrifices the guy that she loves.
Here's
like,
the thing. I don't care. Like,
See,
as
that's-
a-
that's what I'm
See,
saying.
he doesn't. You have no compassion, okay? Well, come
whoa,
on,
whoa,
come
whoa.
on. Don't you like? You don't care that she's sacrificing her future,
Okay.
her love, like her.
okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Let me-
or am I taking your position the wrong way?
You're taking my position the wrong way.
Okay.
I'm not incompassionate or whatever the right word is. Here's the thing. There's another movie out, that's still surprisingly out in theaters, that is a far superior romance to this. I actually saw it last Thursday.
What movie is this?
Silver Linings Playbook.
Never. Okay.
Oh, I've heard good things.
And this
I haven't
is 20 times better than this movie, and I will tell you why. Because unlike this movie, it actually developed characters separately before actually getting them together. Number one.
Okay.
And number two,
Yes.
it's like they actually give them character traits. They give them actual problems to deal with. They don't have to throw some magical shit in your face to make it mean something.
But it's a magical world. It's like taking magic out of Hogwarts. Come on.
Raj, let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. It's like, and here's the thing: they both clearly have problems and things they need to sort out. But not only do they help, like if they don't love each other and all the problems just go away. They help each other grow. They help each other become better people. That is what a good relationship is supposed to do at the end of the day.
He helped her go to the light and not the dark.
Yeah.
Well, even then, that's such a cliche concept that, again, it's hard to take it seriously. Because Light and Dark has literally been in every movie since, like, movies first began. It's
Right.
not... Hell, Kingdom Hearts abused the shit out of this concept.
Hey, not pick apart my video game.
There's an Indian holiday called Diwali, which is all based over
We're not
light
talking about
over
Indian
dark.
culture here.
I'm just saying.
And we're not talking
part
about
of-
Indian
It's
culture,
it's part of everyday culture. It's part of, like, you know what I
I'm
mean?
not saying it's... The problem is, like, it takes away...
It's something believable.
Problem is, and even then, by introducing a Light and Dark concept, you know exactly how the movie's going to end.
I was pissed off because I thought it was gonna end dark, and then all of the last.
You really thought-
The last
You
second,
really-
yeah.
It was the last possible second where they pull it together. Literally, the last scene, the last hurrah, the
But
credits
she's
roll.
kind of half. She's not light nor dark.
Like it was half.
It's unresolved,
and then like the half disappeared, and her both eyes became brown. It was like, yes, closure. I would have been okay if they
Okay,
didn't.
we should move on.
Yeah,
to...
we gotta wrap this up because, like,
We
unfortunately...
have 4 minutes. Okay.
We have 4 minutes. Okay, here's my opinion. Clearly, I'm in the minority in this case, or at least in this particular group. Chris would agree with me, I think. But
I still agree with you that the characters did meet before they were kind of developed. That's something they could have done a lot better. They needed to explain and develop the characters before they mashed them all together.
Right.
And the first 30 minutes could have been sped up or developed.
But,
way
like,
better.
I think it could have been sped up.
It
the
could've
problem is,
sped
like,
up
you
by
could just
a
cut
lot.
out huge chunks of the story. It was way too complicated. Like, another thing that makes Similar Line Playbook compare a movie. I know they're kind of different movies, but I'm comparing because they're both romances for the sake of argument.
Right.
It's the fact that the majority of the movie is just about their relationship. It doesn't make it more complicated than that.
Right.
Like this one, there's a book that has a magical spell that takes place during the Civil War, which does this and this and this, and that just gets ridiculously complicated. And there's so much going on.
Your past will catch up to you one day.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just throwing random shit out there.
Okay. Irrelevant. But it's so much that you can't have time to focus on the characters and that because you're rushing
Well, I feel
so quickly to get to the next part of the story.
Well, I feel like in this movie, the backstory was very important to the plot.
They could have easily cut out half of the backstory.
They
You
could
think
have.
so?
I think they
No,
could have.
they
could've added
didn't.
more.
They could have added more. I
Yeah.
think they needed to develop it more.
No, they
yeah.
did not. They could have easily cut out the Civil War crap, like the reenactment. You didn't need that stupid comparison symbolism they had at the very end. You didn't need all the dark witches. You didn't need all the ridiculous family members. You didn't really need the.
You did
Well,
not
you
need the
take-
members. You did not need the family members. I don't.
You did not need
Well,
the
you need-
ridiculous
okay, you needed
switcheroo at
cousin.
the end.
You
You
needed
did
the
not.
Oh, the cousin. Yeah.
You needed the cousin, and the other family members were there just.
You could
Just to be there.
No,
Just to
you
be
could have
there.
easily done without the cousin because she doesn't do anything at the end either. She just goes away.
She tries to screw her cousin over.
Yeah.
The mother could have done that. Why couldn't the mother done that? Tell me why not.
She needed more people.
She need more. Yeah.
Why?
You need more than one person to take over something else. You need
Why?
numbers, strength in numbers. I don't
because
know.
the
There's only 2 of them. How's that strength in numbers?
2 over 1. 2 is greater than 1.
Again, but she's more powerful. Why does she need someone else?
Because
Why-
when
why
they were
not
young,
have
they were
next
close.
gen?
Oh yeah, when they were young, they were close. Lena and her cousin were close.
yeah, they
and
have
so,
a very interesting relationship
Yeah.
where
Not
they care for
really.
each other, but
They
you know
also-
she is very jealous
right.
of
It adds a whole
the main
dynamic.
female
Not
character.
really.
I think it's because like Lena wants to care about her cousin, then she's like, no, I can't because she's obviously
Really? Because I didn't get that at all. In fact, it looks like they just met on the set.
well, the story did say they hadn't seen each other in a while, but they were close to her cousin. When they were 16, her cousin ran away.
I mean, there was not a lot of interaction except for that dinner scene, but it is explained that they were close.
Problem is,
They were, yeah, it was explained. They were close.
That actually brings up an interesting dynamic. We gotta wrap this up because we're short on time. But it's
Right.
like it explains, but it doesn't show. It
Hey,
tells
as
you.
long as it's
It tells you, but it doesn't actually show it. It just tells.
Do you want more flashbacks? Like we don't need any more flashbacks.
No, it's
than
like
there was.
if they show like the dad in turmoil, show the dad in turmoil. Like if their mother they have their relationship with each other, show the relationship. It's like show these characters developing. Give me a reason to believe that they are connected in some way. Don't just tell me they are
but
and expect me to
she's
go with
dark,
it.
and
She's-
the rest of them are light. They
So why
actually
can't you-
exiled her.
Yeah,
So
they
why
exiled
can't you explore that? Like, why can't you
They-
have more intimate conversations? Why can't you do that?
They did. They had the whole where she's like, "I love you, cuz. Remember, I ran away to say to."
That
you
was
know,
exposition.
Blah, blah, blah. But
That wasn't real conversation. That was let me tell you my deep dark story about how I ran away when I was a little child.
16.
16,
16, whatever.
16 is not a little
Okay.
child anymore.
But
Anyway.
I,
Funny,
okay,
time to-
yeah. So wrapping up. Go see Silver Linings Playbook. Much better romance.
Whoa.
I haven't seen that movie, but I thought this was a very gripping. It was at the end. I was pissed off until like the last 3 seconds of the film, and then I was like, closure.
Yeah, I guess Raj and I like those like smiley face endings, but I think you should just.
I like smiley face endings when they work.
I feel like the first 20, 30 minutes of the movie gets like a bad, and I was like, what the hell is going on? But after that, it gets better.
I can see what Michael's points are, but I think you should just see it. You know, these are one of the movies.
See it in a matinee. Don't pay like the $15. Go see it. You know, early bird.
I think it's worth
you know,
seeing.
It's
So.
See it.
I mean, there were
I didn't feel like my money was wasted.
There.
I felt like, you know what I mean? Like I
This
saw
would be
this
greater than movie 43.
Oh hell yeah, it's way better than movie.
That's not even a fair comparison.
This is way better than
Anyways,
movie 43.
okay.
Okay,
Anyways,
I think we're done here because we gotta wrap this up. So take this what it's worth, and see you all next time. Later today, actually.
Bye.
But
later.